Welcome back to the 500 Sprintcast. It is a fun show tonight. We're going to try to interject some luck into a potential first time Kenyon Midget Series winner. We'll see if that happens. But first, a couple of things to talk about. Welcome in. I'm Zach Heiser. Ashton Smyth joins me. How's it going, Ashton?
It's going great, just in between some trips over here with my dirt racing now. Um, but yeah, busy season, but things are slowly starting to come to a close and excited to talk pavement racing.
Yeah, let's talk about it. So, since our last show, nothing has happened really with the 500 Sprint Car Tour. It's been kind of an idle time of year, but Ashton, this helps get revved up for the season end, and really looking at that points battle still as we work down, toward these final few weeks. I think that the big question still remains on how that is all going to unfold. Things are still very much in the air for the 500 Sprint Cast or 500 Sprint Cast 500 Sprint Car Tour Championship.
Yeah, for sure. And I think, we've talked about it before. We talked about it last week, and it'll keep being the story until the 500 Sprint Car Tour goes back to Salem Speedway. Is keep in mind, last time they went to Salem Speedway, Tyler Roark decided to not go because just his package and what his team has together with Salem Speedway just does not go well. Well, he's leading the points right now. If he doesn't show up at Salem, also some possible schedule conflicts in there for the possible rescheduled date. This championship could be a completely different battle. We could see Dakota Armstrong getting it done this year.
Yep, Dakota Armstrong, Bobby Santos right there within striking distance. Cody Swanson a little bit further back, but not out of the realm of possibility by any means. And then rounding out the top five, Kyle O'Gara, who arguably Ashton could have been right. You put the glasses on the 2020 vision, could have been the 2025 champion if things don't go south at Winchester Speedway in June.
Man, my heart broke for Kyle O'Gara because he was on such a good run this year. I mean, great run in the little 500. It seemed like every single time we were racing, like he was in the top three, he was in the top five. And I love to see that out of Kyle. He's one of those guys who is just very thankful and very grateful to be where he's at. And he is a beast on the racetrack. And yeah, like you said, I think it could have been a totally different story if Winchester would have went a little bit different for him. It kind of reminded me of a little bit of what happened last year. It was the same sort of thing. Got into a bad wreck and knocked him out of the championship battle. And Kyle O'Gara will have to kind of put the tie on 2025 and chase that championship in 2026.
All right. What has happened since our last show? The Kenyon Midget Series was in action for a double header at Salem Speedway. Don't see this very often, Ashton. Double features at Salem back on August 9th, and almost to two of the same winners, almost doubling down. First of all, I want to talk about Landon Brown. We talked to him after that first career win at Kalamazoo Speedway. He set fast qualifier honors on August 9th at Salem and was right there. In fact, won feature number two, finished second in feature number one. Landon Brown has come into his own in this race car.
Yeah, 100%. I think that's just coming with some of the comfortability of it. Obviously, that injury earlier on in the year. And he said, it's kind of like muscle memory, but part of that's going to go away when you're out of a race car for as long as he was. So, him jumping back in, I really feel like he's starting to get his footing back now. And it's showing. He is hungry for it. He wants it. He knows, okay, I missed out on some time. That's behind me now. All that matters is this moment, and I can win. I'm going to win. And that's exactly what he's doing.
Yeah, Dameron Taylor wins feature number one, Brown second, Eli Fox third, Tristan Brown, Evan Hammond round out the top five. Then feature number two, Landon Brown goes to victory lane ahead of Isaac Johnson. Jace Petty, a name that I don't recall us talking much about this year, finishes third. And then Dameron Taylor, Evan Hammond, nice couple of top five finishes there at Salem. So would you like your weekly plug about Evan Hammond?
Yeah, funny enough, because that's who we're going to talk to here in a little bit. But like, man, he's come oh so close each and every single time. And there's got to be a point when that consistency starts to get frustrating. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And I feel like that's really when that fuel is going to be added to his fire. And that's when we're going to see him in victory lane when it's okay, I finished in the top five every single race and not one yet. I am ready to get to victory lane. And I feel like it's coming. It's coming for him. And I can't wait for that day. I remember watching him race last year. The first race I was with the 500 Sprint Car Tour at Anderson Speedway, just watching how he raced. I was like, yeah, this guy is going to be really good. And I mean, he's proved it every single race, but just missing that one win. But you even said, Jace Petty, a name that we haven't necessarily talked about. And I think that goes to show how fierce this competition level is with the Kenyon Midget Series. We have different guys finishing in the top five every single week. I mean, the points battle, obviously Dameron's kind of in a league of his own right now as far as the points go. But it's been crazy all year, and we've seen guys who weren't necessarily great last year rise to the occasion this year. And you never know. Each and every single week, there is someone new who could end up in victory lane.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, without further ado, we'll talk to Evan Hammond. But first, want to say thank you to Redline Ace, our presenting sponsor here on the 500 Sprintcast, a motorsports-driven design agency working with series teams and drivers from all aspects of racing. Owner creative Ben Porter has been working on projects from Formula One to local kart racers and wants to inject that experience into every client that he works with. In a sport that separates competitors' wins and sponsorships by razor thin margins, why not hire Redline Ace to boost your brand before the competition does? Time to get into our featured interview this week. And it was funny. We were talking, it was like, man, we've been saving this interview for the win. Well, maybe this will be the interview that projects the win into reality. He is a member or a member of the racing family for the Kenyon Midget Series. Evan Hammond, welcome into the 500 Sprintcast.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Man, we've been talking about you for several weeks. Good run after good run, consistency. Ashton's been trying to project, into reality your trip to victory lane. Just talk about this season, man, and the improvements that you've seen in this team and in you and being so close to getting that win.
Yeah, I mean, maybe you guys can give me some good luck here, but yeah, the season's been really good. Some up and downs for sure. We started off really strong in the cold weather in Sportstrom, and we're going back this weekend, so I'm super excited for it. Um, we've had some struggles, kind of getting the car balanced, and we've also made some poor decisions, weekend to weekend. But it our strong suit is consistency, and we've been pretty consistent, except for when we've had the ever so often bad thing happen, wreck, or if we we're bad on tire strategy, things like that. And but other than that, I'm pretty happy with my performance and the team's performance this year.
How has it been managing the okay, we're happy with how we're doing, right? This is really, really good that things are going well, but darn it, we've been so close,
Yeah.
had this thing happen. How have you been managing that kind of balance between, we're meeting some expectations, but we're falling short of some others?
Yeah, it's definitely frustrating at times, but it's just part of racing and the mental game, you could say. Um, we don't have much experience like some other, teams out there in the series. And it's just me and my dad. And so we do everything together, and we mull over the setup and what we could do better week in and week out. And it takes us a little bit of time. We only have one chance to get it right. We don't have four cars to get it right. And no excuse, but it is a bit hard being a two-man team.
You said you don't have much experience in this series, but Evan Hammond is a driver. What does your experience, your resume look like?
Yeah, I would say my uh so far my resume isn't too kind of drawn out. I've had some good I would say my experience is not necessarily on paper. It's on the racetrack. And the way I can work through a race weekend despite my lack of experience. And I think working through adversity is really my strong suit right now.
A few years in with the series now, how huge has that notebook been in saying, okay, we're going back to Anderson. We know this worked and this didn't. How huge has that been for you guys this year?
Yeah, it just keeps building and building. We still haven't got it perfect, but every time we go out, I feel like just keep we keep getting better and better, and it's just like it hurts, you know, even more every time we just don't get there. So, I mean, it's frustrating, but I take a lot of pride in what we have done so far with our, lack of experience, but we've also done really good. And I think that's uh, it's not very usual, just for a father and son to always come in and do well. So, I've taken a lot of pride in what we've done so far in the Kenyon Midget Series.
How
I
old
think
are I was just going to ask how old you were, Evan.
I am 21. I just turned 21 a month ago.
How long have you been
happy
racing with your
birthday.
dad? Yeah, happy birthday. How long
Thank
have
you.
you been racing with your dad?
So we started out at Speedway indoor karting. I know Kyle O'Gara a little bit. He kind of got me into racing, and people around probably know the story. We just started out having fun at the rental kart track, and one day we were sitting outside on the benches of Speedway indoor karting, on the Great Main Street, and Dad asked me if I wanted to go, travel and see some, NASCAR, IndyCar races. And I said, "No, Dad, I want to race." And so we a couple weeks after that, Dad got in touch with Whiteland Raceway Park at the time, and we got a cart that was literally, I think, the same age as me. So it was imported from Europe. It was a really old top car. We don't even know how old it is still. It's a Zip Bullet, and it's a super cool cart. We don't have it anymore, unfortunately, but it was a fun time and it was a great start for me. And so that was 2017. So I only got like two or three races in that year. And so that next year in 2018 was my first full season racing, and my first race out with a karting group called SIRA, or SIRA. It's the Southern Indiana Racing Association, and I won my first race out there with them, which was, looking back now, it's crazy to think about, but yeah, we've had a bunch of up and downs, and it's, I wouldn't trade it for the world.
So you're
It's been a blast.
so you're a first generation racer.
Yes, I am. I am.
Wow. Wow. Ashton, who did we have on I think we were talking to somebody else that was a first gen because we talked about you don't hear that very often anymore, especially in open wheel racing.
I want to say it was Ayrton. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it was Ayrton. Yeah.
Yeah, Ayrton's a good friend of mine. We've raced at Newcastle for together for a couple years before he moved on. And we've grown close together. So I know him well. He's a great race car driver, and I love him to death. He's a cool kid.
How'd you talk Dad into this, man? Because I was when I was racing, I was a second generation driver, and a lot of the people that we see in today's world are second or third generation race car drivers. And so it's easy, right? It's just, hey, it's the next one in line. It's like a football team, the next one, the first one retires, the next one's up. How did you talk Dad in? Maybe was it Mom? I mean, I don't know what your situation is. What was it like getting this thing built?
Well, we're blessed to have a mom who let me do this in the first place. But I really think it comes from Dad's passion. He's always wanted to be in the racing community ever since he was a kid, and he just didn't get that same opportunity. And so, getting him to get in this with me, it was like that. It was easy. He was right on board the whole time. So it was really easy for me. I'm blessed for sure.
What is that relationship like between you and your dad on a race day? Because it's not only okay, we work together on the car, car owner, whatever the situation may be, but at the end of the day, he's also your dad.
hmm Yeah, it's we try to balance it. Sometimes it's hard, sometimes we get frustrated with each other, like anybody would. But we try to, really have a good system and be professional because, that's just kind of helps me, in my racing journey as I move forward. And but we try to always make it fun because, my motto is if you're not having fun, you're not doing well. And I think, for me, I'm all about things I'm interested in. If I'm not interested in something, I don't do well at it. And it just helps me learn so much to just have such a passion for something, and it's taken me a long way in racing.
Um, Sorry, someone's like blowing my phone up right now. Um,
Please excuse Ashton's popularity interruption.
I guess someone posted a video of mine on TikTok and it got like 3.2 million views and
Oh.
now,
So now
Woo!
Ashton's trending. Got it.
but it's not me. It's some random person that took my video. Anyways, growing up karting, how did you end up in the Kenyon Midget Series? How did you find out about it and how did you, kind of decide, hey, this is the avenue I want to go?
So, that's where my friendship with Ayrton comes in. We just kind of saw him in the path that he was going, and we wanted to kind of move up too. And I mean, it was just a no-brainer. It was either that or go to a Lucas Oil School of Racing or try to get into a USF car of some sort on the road course side of things. And we just don't have the money for that. So we thought, that was a no-brainer. It looked like a great community of, fierce but great community of competitors, and we've loved it ever since.
You talked about you and Dad. This whole thing kind of started by him saying, "Hey, do you want to go watch some IndyCar or NASCAR? Do you want to go catch some races?" What is your fan level, I guess, or how much knowledge do you have of how intense open wheel racing is in the state of Indiana and how the USSA Kenyon Midget Series really, when you boil it down, is a foundational piece of some of the most historic names that we've seen, come through open wheel racing. Like how much of that do you grasp? How deep of the history of the Kenyon Midget Series have you, dove into? And this is kind of a tricky question because I don't want to stick you in a bad spot, but
Yeah.
do you understand where your career potentially could go from this spot?
Yeah, it's we I mean, we have a great history, just in the Kenyon brothers alone. Um, me and Dad both, we idolize the Kenyon brothers so much, and it's just such a treat to, have them make fun of us when in the pits. We've had that happen a couple times, which is, it's just a laugh. But just to be a part of the drivers that have, the list of drivers that have been in the Kenyon Midget Series is just really cool. And to, add my name to a win list would be just amazing. And just the connections that the Kenyon Midget Series and the 500 Sprint Car Tour have to, other racing, dirt side and asphalt side, is just amazing. It's a great ladder to other places.
All right, you set me up right on top of the tee here. So adding your name to the list of Kenyon Midget Series winners, will it happen in 2025? We've got three races left here this season. One coming up in just a couple of days. As you mentioned, the cold weather, right? It's kind of chilly here. I don't know what you're experiencing, Ashton, but we are sweater weather up here today.
It's like 102 degrees here today, guys.
What is it, like 72 was the high today, Evan? I think for me in Michigan, anyhow. So
Um, yeah, I think it was a little hotter down
okay.
here.
Well,
I
let's
think it
talk
was.
about this. Cooler weather going back to the sports drome, going back to Sports Drome Speedway. Then in September, cooler weather again should be on tap for the Indianapolis Speedrome, and then Anderson in October. Um,
Mhm.
where do you think it happens, man? And how is your confidence about those three places?
I mean, we we've had bad luck at the short tracks. But I really do think that speedrun will be really good. We've already had a second at Sportsdrome. I think that's going to be really good, and we keep building on our speed at Anderson. So I mean, I feel great about all three. Where it's going to happen, I don't know. Obviously, I hope it happens. I feel really good though. We've been slowly learning where we needed to go and how we need to adjust the car to us. And I think we're slowly getting there. We've had some chronic problems to overcome with the car, but I think we're slowly getting to it. And I think you can expect me being up front for all three of these races.
Uh, you said it might not be at these next three races, but looking at the schedule as a whole, obviously, a lot of 2025 already done. But if you did have to pick one racetrack on the schedule that you were like, yeah, this is my place, what would you pick?
Oh. You know that I'm torn between Sportstrom and Anderson.
Mm.
Uh, if it was if you were to ask me that last year, I probably wouldn't have picked Anderson because that was kind of like my Achilles heel. But I mean, we just kept chipping away at it, and you know, especially with the Anderson 75, we uh we led a lot of laps there, and the car wasn't that great at all. It fell off really bad after a couple laps each restart, and but we were still pretty fast. I think I finished fourth there, and but I mean we keep on getting better there, and of course we have a second at Sportstrom, and I really clicked with that track right away. So I mean those two, if I had to pick one, I think Sportstrom would be the one that I would have to pick.
All
So
right.
maybe see you in Victory Lane and Sportsdrome in a
That's
few
what I'm
weeks.
hearing. That's what I'm
Hopefully,
hearing.
yeah.
Cool.
Man, it's been long overdue. I've been saying it for weeks now. Ever
Mhm.
since I saw you race last year, I was like, yeah, he's gonna be something good. And a little trial run for when you do end up in victory lane. Who helps make this possible week in, week out for you?
Yeah, my dad, he's the engine that runs this train. He's the man, the myth, the legend. I mean, and I'm I'm 20% of that. I do what he asks me to do, and take care of the car, and then I drive it and tell him what needs to be changed. But he's the man that runs the train that hopefully gets us to victory lane.
There you go.
So
There you go. Last question I wanted to ask you was about points. Runner up last year in the championship point standing, second again this year is attainable for you. How do you feel about back to back runner up in the point standings? I mean, if you can get it done, right? I know it's not completely over. I don't want to say it's a foregone conclusion, but Dameron's kind of stinking it up at the top right now. Can you get past Isaac here in the final three races?
I think we have a good shot. You know, the whole field has really toughened up this year. You know, kudos to them. They've done a great job, especially the Jeff Hill Trailer Sales team. They've been really fast this year. But I feel really confident in these last three races. I think we can see a second place, which hurts, but you know, hey, it's better than third.
That's right. That's right. That's kind of what I was getting at. So, man, as Ashton said, you've had a great run, and I'm hoping this is a little good luck charm for you to get to victory lane because Ashton's been talking about it. So we got to make it happen. So, Evan, man, congratulations on a good season so far. Good luck these final three.
Yeah, thanks for having me. You're my lucky charm, hopefully.
Well, thank you to Evan for making time for us. We'll see. I mean, Landon Brown, we talked to him after his first win. Then he backs it up with a pair of first and second place finishes at Salem Speedway. Ashton, do we have a good luck charm for being on the 500 Sprintcast?
I hope so. I hope so for both us and for Evan's sake. Maybe build our reputation here a little bit. The
That's
guys will
right.
want to come on more than they already do to,
That's right.
hopefully end up in victory lane. And it's long overdue for Evan. So I sure hope so.
All right. We talked about it briefly in our interview with Evan. Not really briefly. We broke it down pretty extensively. Sportsdrome Speedway, August 22nd. So that is this week for the Kenyon Midget Series. And then you have to wait till September 20th before they go to the Indianapolis Speedrome. And that'll be the penultimate event of the season. Then finally, Anderson Speedway on October 4th. Ashton, we mentioned 500 Sprint Car Tour off until September 13th when they return to Salem Speedway. And then October 4th, Anderson Speedway, and the season wraps up October 18th at Lucas Oil IRP. But speaking of IRP, go back and find some results because a lot of guys were in action this week in other open wheel racing.
Yeah, the National Midget's running over at IRP this week, and I believe it's the last one of the season. I might be mistaken there. But I mean, yeah, you have your Dameron Taylors to your Cody Swansons to your Jake Trainers to your Taylor Ferns. Just about anybody and everybody you see in both of our series are out running at IRP this weekend. Those are always some fun ones to watch. A lot of our guys keeping busy with USAC Silver Crown as well. So although the 500 Sprint Car Tour may be off, they are still honing in on their craft and I'm excited to see what they do in September.
And keep an eye on them too, right? USAC Silver Crown, Sprint Cars, Midgets. You never know where one of these guys is going to pop up in a USAC ride along the way too. So a pretty exciting time here as we get closer to fall. Kids are back in school. The weather up here in Michigan. I know, Ashton, you said it's hotter than blazes down there in NC, but up here in Michigan, it was a nice fall day. I was looking for my football jersey today, so it's getting to be that time, and we're wrapping up. We'll have our next show in a couple of weeks, where I assume we'll have another preview of that 500 Sprint Car Tour Championship battle that's going to come down to the line. Will we get more clarity on what's going on with Tyler Rohrig? We'll find out, and we'll know how things unfolded at the Sportsdrome Speedway coming up this weekend. That'll be on our next show. So until then, want to say thank you to everybody who tuned in. Thank you to Evan for being on the show. For Ashton Smyth, I'm Zach Heiser, and we'll talk to you next time on the 500 Sprintcast.